If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call.
Well, hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth podcast. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Today is Tuesday, July 26th, 2022, and this is episode number 386 of a show that provides insight and tools to build the life and homestead of your dreams. And I hesitate because I'm not entirely sure if this is 386, and indeed it is. I'm a little discombobulated this morning. I have no show notes for today's episode, but I have an interesting episode for you indeed. And the title of today's show is Creating a Family Vision. Okay, and all of this article, all of this podcast today is inspired by an article that I will link to in the show notes titled Creating Your Family Vision, Your Key for Family Connection. And we're going to talk about, is your family really your priority, and how you can go about making it your priority. And part of the reason we're winging it a little bit this morning, and part of the reason why I don't have a whole lot of show notes prepared for today, is because it's my mom's birthday. Happy 70th birthday, Mom. I was over with Mom and Dad this morning sharing some coffee, and still have some of that with me now. We just had a nice morning. Our family has gotten to the point over time where we don't celebrate with gifts. On Christmas, birthdays, any kind of special events, we're really not big on gifts. We're big on quality time with one another and thoughtful acts of love and service, right? So I ended up purchasing a nice card for my mom and spent this morning writing a nice letter in conjunction with the card, dovetailing the card. As a matter of fact, I'll share the card, because what I wrote to dovetail the card actually is was in a Word document that I printed, and the card that I gave her seemed very appropriate. So before we dive into this family vision, I want to share this because I think it's all connected in terms of a family topic, because that's what we're going through here in these episodes, as we work through the 7 key areas in life: setting goals, financial goals, physical goals, personal development goals, family goals, spiritual goals, social goals, and career goals. And we're going to talk about how we can set family goals today through creating a family vision, and Ashley Logsdon is going to show us how. But before we get into that, this card that I gave my mom says, "Mom, all through my life, I've known I could turn to you to help me think things through or figure out just what direction was right for me. With your steady patience, love, and understanding, you've not only listened and shared your advice, but you've always reminded me to be true to myself, my values, and my dreams. From the guidance you've offered to the confidence and wisdom that you've built in me, you've made me stronger than you know, but never too strong to need a little help from my mom." And then I wrote her a letter about the gratitude that I've had for the long talks that we've always had while I lived out of state over the years, and all the help and support that she's provided in all the different paths that resulted in all the different directions in life that I took. But ultimately, that path led me right back here to work with my family, to grow and develop the land on which we all live today. I reminded her that the words in the card indeed remind me to be true to myself, or at least continue to be true to myself, my values and my dreams. And here we are. You know, I've made some significant changes in my life to work in an environment that I'm quite proud of. And while oftentimes it's challenging to find direction on this new path, the family that we have serves as a strong rudder. And I just continue to write that I was, and have never been prouder to write and share these words. For today we acknowledge and honor Mom and the life that she's lived, and all those who have been impacted by her, and all the confidence, guidance, and wisdom that she's shared with them, and how they've helped, or how she's helped so many people, and most of all, her children, us, who proudly continue to participate in life with her to this day. So Mom, happy birthday. We love you. And it's my mom and the relationship that she has with my dad, the way that they raised us, which leads me to be interested in things like this. Articles like Creating Your Family Vision, Your Key for Family Connection. Now, I'm a single man in my early mid-40s, and I don't have a family of my own. I've been contacted. A lot of you guys write in and communicate with me and think I do have a family, think I am a parent, but I'm not. I speak like I am. I believe that I act like I am. I've been involved in programs within my community that allow me to act as not necessarily a parent, but as a matter of fact, I've participated in Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, specifically through a program called Operation Bigs in San Diego. I think it's important to, be involved in your community, be involved with people and grow, especially if you don't have a family. It's important to not isolate. But if you do have a family, it's really important to cultivate that family connection. Now, I'm not going to read this article verbatim, but I will read the introduction: vision statements, mission statements, strategy, and branding. As a working mama, these are things that we talk about in the business world. Entrepreneurs are great at investing in these things that will get them further in their business, and quote, personal development courses to increase sales and build lists are completely justified. So how much time are you spending with your family? How much time are you focused on work or the to-do list or coordinating schedules and planning for the future? But have you actually sat down and created a vision and mission for your family? Have you looked at what resources would be powerful in your personal development as a parent, partner, or just in your own self? How are you building family connection? You have a business vision, but what about your family vision? We focus so much on business, yet oftentimes never recognize the need for intention and planning with family. We coast through parenting, reacting to the chaos of the moment, and never writing the story of what we really want our lives to look like. Is your work the place you focus? Or can you shift that same drive and intention to create the family where everyone thrives? All right, so she's got some links to this is a really, really comprehensive and in-depth article. Okay, she's got beginning with your family vision. She suggests starting with identifying what it is that you don't want, what you're not okay with. You're not okay with disrespect. You're not okay with hate. You're not okay with negativity, okay? So sometimes it's easier to identify what we don't want than what we do. She also suggests putting it down on paper. And she suggests that there's simply more to it than this family vision. And what I mean more to it is that cultivating this family connection is more than just, thinking up these cool ideas and putting them down on paper. Well, what do I mean? Well, for example, she talks about using the fancy china and drinking the fine champagne just for a family dinner for no particular reason at all. Having a fancy candlelit bath with chocolate and some wine on a regular old Monday, and just creating opportunities for something special for no particular reason. And doing so with our family because we recognize that every day is an opportunity for something special. All right, I'm paraphrasing much of what this article that Ashley wrote because this is a great article. It's very long, but she writes that in our home, it boils down to 6 words. 1, explore. 2, respect. 3, listen. 4, connect. 5, learn. 6, love. Show love and respect for your family. Don't push them to be perfection. None of us are. We're human and we need each other. And the more we model love and respect and self-worth, the more we instill these traits in our children and create family connection. All right, there's a lot more within this article. But right there was the conclusion of it. Now, I'd never really thought about this before. Thought about this family vision. I had been familiar with the creation, the cultivation of a personal mission statement, going about all of the ways to fulfill my dreams, and I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And you've probably done much of the same things over the years. Going along the lines of Tony Robbins and, whatever, Michael Hyatt, all this stuff especially with business, those of us who have experienced the corporate world or still remain in it, this stuff is fed to us routinely. And when applied to our personal lives, when applied to our family lives, we can experience some wonderful results as well. And this is exactly what Ashley is talking about in this article, which is, creating a family vision. So I'm going to link to Ashley's article in the show notes. I would definitely encourage you guys to, look at this as a way to think about your family goals. In the show notes as well, I'm also going to link to the 2022 goal setting workbook, which outlines how we can, set goals in these 7 areas: financial, physical, personal development, family, spiritual, social, and career. This is a 15-page workbook. It's very comprehensive. Shows us how to set goals for a 3-year period, outline and define definitive goals for a 1-year period, and then exactly how to go about reviewing them throughout that 1 year so that we're actually making progress on these goals and moving forward with life in the direction that we want. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that the 2022 goal setting workbook is by Dan Miller, author of 48 Days to the Work You Love. And I learned about Ashley, the author of the article that I talked about here, Creating Your Family Vision, Your Key for Family Connection, through the 48 Days Eagles community, which again, I will link to in the show notes for those of you who are interested. 48 Days Eagles is a community of people who are doing their own thing. All right? Entrepreneurs, small business owners, people who want more out of their life, but don't really know how to go about getting it, or want to surround themselves with people who think like them. That's what the 48 Days Eagles is, and that's how I met Ashley. And ironically enough, maybe not ironically, she is Dan Miller's daughter. So it's interesting to read content from someone who is the child of the person who is so inspiring, right? And yet she is creating content that inspires in her own way. And this is kind of relevant to me here because I'm doing all of this work with my parents, and a lot of what I have wanted to do in the past, follow the entrepreneurial path that everyone else is doing and creating, and I've tried to follow the model that everyone else has built and not really modified it accordingly for the particular or appropriate ways to fit the particular context of my own life, and the results have been terrible. And so here we are. I have come full circle in the green industry to return as an apprentice, working for a very minimal wage here at York Meadow Farm. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about family vision. But in a sense, for me personally, part of my family vision is York Meadow Farm. And honestly, over coffee this morning, Dad had to do some work, and that's why I'm doing this right now. I was going to record later in the day. But I made some kind of comment to Mom, like, what if I actually put all this time, effort, and energy that I put into these other side projects, what if I devoted all of this into the farm and content creation for the farm? You know, and she said, well, that's just a decision you're going to have to make, you know. They've been very clear about this, you know. They don't want to push me into this. They want me to, you know, hey, like, this is here if you want this and you want to, you know, grow this. But they've made it very clear from my, you know, previous Burnout 2.0 back in 2016 that you know, hey, you know, this isn't, you don't need to do anything if you don't want to. So, you know, they're pretty casual. We're all pretty casual about everything. But I most certainly want to. But what I fear, right? What I fear is that I'm not going to represent the family accordingly or something, like, and that people are going to think this is the Rob show. And you know, as I sit here and talk about this and verbalize it, that's just a silly thing to think about, and it's an excuse for not getting things done. So anyways, speaking of getting things done, guys, I'm going to work on getting this episode uploaded and then heading out to the kitchen on my very short commute now, which is no longer what it used to be. And that's why the format of the show has changed. I'm no longer doing these episodes as a commute, but I'm doing them in the office itself, because my commute is literally 15, 20 steps to the commercial kitchen next door. So anyways, we're going to get things done over here. And as far as getting things done in your own life with your own family, again, check this article out if you're interested in creating your family vision, because that could be your key for family connection. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I look forward to catching you tomorrow, Wednesday, with an episode on, well, something that remains to be heard. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.
What can I do? The needs are many and answers a few. People turn away and I wonder why. If I can help somebody, then I want to try. That I believe in friendship and love, and truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. If we stand